Did you know that e-archiving and e-invoicing will revolutionize the way we manage document online and transactions? Hello everybody and welcome back to Hello Trust, your one-stop podcast dedicated to the world of digital trust, a set of innovative technologies that allows us to perform complex operations directly online, such as signing a digital contract, opening a bank account, or even subscribing an insurance policy. I'd like to remind you that this podcast has been produced by InfoCert, the largest qualified trust service provider in Europe, and you can watch all the episodes through our YouTube channel or even listening to it through your favorite podcast platform. Together with me in this journey, of course, as always, Igor Marcolongo, the black belt of eIDAS 2. Hi, Igor.
Ciao, Pasquale. Let's go on with this journey.
So today with us, Michele Lavizzari, an important manager that is becoming very famous for all the projects that you are bringing all around Europe regarding e-archiving and e-invoice, right?
That's true. Thanks, Pasquale, for inviting me.
So let's start. Igor, eIDAS 2 is not just wallet. We talked about a lot about digital identity, etc., but it's not just about wallet. It's unlocking a lot of new services.
Yes, it has. And one of the most important that we will delve into it today, it will be archiving. So, in the previous version of eIDAS, the archiving of documents were not trust services. We had the preservation of signatures and the validation of signatures that are super important, and I believe that will be developed more and more thanks to the new version of the regulation. Now the archiving of documents becomes a qualified trust service. That means that will be provided by qualified trust service providers, will give compliance, will give security to the storage of documents, but it won't be only storage. It will be about readability, integrity, and so on. So qualified archiving will become a fundamental building blocks for other transactions. And this gives us the point of view of an eIDAS regulation that creates services that can enable other processes. E-invoicing is key for that. You cannot have a proper electronic invoices processes without a signature, without a timestamp, qualified or not, and without a secure place where to put your documents and knowing that they are validated and preserved over time, even readable over time.
So electronic invoicing is not regulated by eIDAS 2, but at the same time, eIDAS 2 is fundamental to unlock, all the potential of e-invoicing.
Perfect summary. E-invoices is not a trust services, but we are seeing it's really important to unlock a lot of value in Europe in the business-to-business and business-to-government transactions.
Michele, what is missing in Europe about electronic invoicing? Until now, only very few countries just introduced the invoice system.
Well, starting from the assumption that no national country will be requested to dismiss their current electronic invoicing architecture and regulation that put in place along the course of the last years, while we currently assist at two concurrent dynamics going on. The former being the fact that each single country is now introducing electronic invoice as mandatory in more and more use cases and market segments, starting normally from B2G and then moving over to B2B. And the latter phenomenon is the current discussion going on at the European Commission level for concerning the interoperability among the different European countries, and specifically the dialogue among the national tax agencies. We have in discussion 5 alternative models. I'm not referring to...
5?
Yeah,
Whoa,
there are 5.
a lot
quite
of them.
There are quite a lot. So it's quite vivid discussion at the moment going on. But the fact is that we're not talking about technological standard discussion. This has been settled already. So whatever kind of gateway and the technological point of view from one standard to the other has already been implemented. So no matter if we talk about UBL, PEPL, CIE, Facture, all these kind of formats, now they are natural gateway already implemented. The problem is having to discuss about the role of the different tax agency in the active and passive electronic invoicing cycle. Is tax agency to be copied, or is to become a protagonist of the entire cycle? What kind of role will the tax agency be called to play? So just going a bit more in depth concerning this high-level discussion, I can cite a very fundamental initiative that was launched by ECOFIN, the European Council, together with the national finance ministries, more or less 5 years ago, the name of which is VIDA, which stands for VAT in the digital age. This initiative brought to a quite clear outcome that was established in 2024 as the ultimate deadline by when each of the national European countries should have introduced mandatory obligation for concerning electronic invoicing.
But we are far from this goal for now, for my understanding.
Unfortunately, due to COVID, the plan has been moved, because at the time when the regulation, the recommendation was issued, COVID broke in. So what happened is everything has been postponed by 2 years. So the new deadline will be 2026, where full implementation of electronic invoicing in all applicable fields has to happen by the end of 2030.
Okay.
So we are almost there, we are still not there.
Okay, right. So coming back to the e-archiving, you were saying that now is becoming a regulated service by eIDAS, but it already exists in some countries, has been already introduced in some businesses. What is going to change practically?
Some countries do have e-archiving today. Italy, for example, is an excellence for that. Is a big market. Is even quite becoming a commodity for that. In France, there are very interesting initiatives with a specific local standard. Some countries do have archiving, but mostly thought and designed for public documents, so cultural heritage, bibliothèque, and so on. So it becomes a quite fragmented market, quite fragmented situation. With the eIDAS, too, there will be an implementing act that will set up specific requirements that will be functional, organizational, and even technical, in order to harmonize the way of archiving document and preserve it over time. This will make it easier even to change provider if you want. So the idea is to avoid the vendor lock-in aspect, so to be trapped into a provider because that provider is preserving documents, your heritage, your memory of the past, and you have to stay there, because if not, the risk is to lose the validity of the documents, of the signatures, and so on. So there will be this level of harmonization that will give value to citizen businesses, and even will enhance the security of the preservation of the documents, especially in a world that is where the technology is evolving. So digital signature shall be protected and preserved into specific solutions, into specific services.
Sure. Michele, in this scenario, what are your expectations regarding which countries will be more effective in this way in introducing e-archiving and e-invoicing? What's your opinion, what you are seeing just in the market now?
It's a bit different. If you talk about the electronic invoicing, we need to all recognize that the reason why electronic invoicing was introduced and is being introduced by the different national governments is just because of they want to fight against VAT evasion, right? So this is the real reason why everybody is moving towards that kind of goal. So based on this, the countries that we consider as first movers are the ones that have been suffering from this big issue much than the others. So this year is to become the period during which Romania, Poland, and Greece will make electronic invoicing mandatory for all market segments.
Okay.
Next year it will be the turn for France and Spain. Germany is still in discussion, but anyway, they will come in 2026. And they say that in the next following 2 years, the vast majority of the countries will be moving towards electronic invoices and mandatory for any kind of B2B deal. So
you didn't mention Italy, but because in Italy it's already in place from a long time now, the electronic invoicing. I know that only last year more than 1 billion invoices has been exchanged in the Italian system. So for 1,000 billions of euros of value. So now Italy is ahead of other countries, at least for electronic invoices project. What about e-archiving?
Well, e-archiving is a completely different story because, on one side, there's a very few set of governments at the moment really sensibilized after the importance of long-term archiving. On the other side, as Igor just said, the recent introduction of eIDAS 2 that established the set of rules based on which long-term archiving service platform can be qualified is a game changer. So we think that in the next following 2 years, we will assist at a sort of explosion of demands concerning long-term archiving. Long-term archiving cannot be regarded as a standalone service, must be bundled together with signature preservation, because there's no reason why we should keep documentation safe for as many years as the regulation imposes without being also sure that the digital signature via which the document were signed at the proper time will still be recognized as valid in the next following 10, 15, 20 years, regardless what the technical evolution will be.
Okay, so thank you very much, Michele, for being with us. Thank you very much,
Thanks
Igor. At the end of this episode, I can easily say that more document archive for everyone,
of course.
Actually. And thank you very much for all of you for watching us. I remind you that you can watch all the episodes on our YouTube channel, or you can listen to them just through your favorite podcast platform. Thank you very much and have a good day.